Hello, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the channel. My name is Rick. We are getting into Band-Maid per many comment requests for the documentary of each one of them. I have to go in a specific order, so it starts with SAIKI. Let me know if I'm right, because that's the one we're doing. So I'm excited to do it. Let's get into it right now. Here we go.
Welcome to Kofu, the capital city of Yamanashi Prefecture, where SAIKI was born on February 8th. Known for its proximity to Mount Fuji and its grapes and wines, Yamanashi is mostly covered by forests. This is the beautiful landscape where SAIKI spent her childhood with her mother and stepfather, as her parents are divorced. Her mother was born and raised in Osaka, and SAIKI describes her as a person who doesn't hold anything back and could be very aggressive. Her stepfather wasn't really a father figure in SAIKI's education, as her mother took responsibility for this role as well. SAIKI was a very shy child who couldn't leave her mother's knees but forced herself to go to school anyway. As her mother loved to drink with her friends, SAIKI spent a lot of time in bars called izakaya, a snack bar in Japan where you can drink a lot and talk loud. Try to picture a shy young girl
around here like
eating
that.
dinner in the middle of a group of her mother's friends while they drank alcohol. SAIKI had a very funny and lively childhood. She spent a lot of time singing at the karaoke, as her mother kept asking her to sing various types of songs. Songs to cry to, like Nada So So by Rimi Natsukawa. Or more poppy songs like Butterfly by Koura Kumi.
Interesting video. I like the wings incorporated. That's kind of neat.
At first, SAIKI sang because she was asked to. But after being praised by her mother and her friends, SAIKI kept singing again and again, learning more songs and listening to different types of music. Listening to Koura Kumi led SAIKI to discover Namie Amuro, a famous Japanese singer, dancer, and model who's been referred to as the queen of Japanese pop. SAIKI became a huge fan of Namie Amuro and decided to take dancing lessons when she was around 8 or 9 to become just like her idol. She talked about the...
I had to look at that for a second because I was going, is that her? I saw some similarities. I'm going, I don't think that's her unless they made her up a certain way. But that was the person she idolized and stuff like that. So I got confused for a second there. I was like, oh my God. Is that her in a different light, in like a modeling sense? Interesting childhood, though, so far.
A huge fan of Namie Amuro and decided to take dancing lessons when she was around 8 or 9 to become just like her idol. She talked about the kind of Namie fan she was in the second episode of the radio show called Band-Maid Nippon, a 20-minute regular radio show that aired during the pandemic on Nippon Broadcasting System, a sister company of Band-Maid's label Pony Canyon.
私の人生を変えた一曲は安室奈美恵さんのファンキータウンです。
ああ、もうね、サイちゃんといえばっていうぐらいこう
そうだね。
ね、
安室奈美恵さん
大好きだったね。
大好き。
もうだって
私の神様だと思っています。
すごかったんだから安室さんが引退を発表した時。
恥ずかしい。
もう忘れられないあれは。
So funny.
バンドメイドのツアー直前のゲネ最終の投資リハーサルみたいなのをやってる時に、お昼のニュースかなんかで確か流れたんですよね。で練習というかリハーサル中のちょっとした休憩の合間時間に、そのニュースを見たサイちゃんは椅子から 椅子普通に座ってたのに崩れ落ちたからね。
座ってたのにね。
座ってたのに、立ってたわけじゃないのに崩れ。
I'm trying to follow the subtitles, and it's showing her responses up top too. So I was trying to go back and forth. It's best not just listen to Kobato, and I should be okay. By the stepfather thing, what I feel bad about is the attention. Maybe a little more attention paid to her might have broken her out of her shell, is what I was referring to. So I wanted to clear that up, in case there was any misunderstanding of what I meant by that. So.
落ちて叫んだから。
叫んだ。
みんなでどうしたのって
めっちゃ嘘だーって。
そう。でちょっともう半泣きなんですかね。で
泣いた。
泣いてた。でごめんなさい、もう今日はできませんってやった
よ。やったけどね。
やったけど一旦もうちょっと私今日はもうできないですって
10分は休ませてもらった。
そうだね。ちょっと一旦それで休憩、がっつり休憩にしましょうって。
ちょっと気持ちの整理させてください。
もう本当に崩れ落ちてたとね。
そうぐらい好きなんです。安室奈美恵さんのことが。はい。
Saiki's mother often asked her to audition, but at that time, Saiki thought it would be impossible for her to pass an audition and actually become someone who can sing and dance like her idol, Namie Amuro. And then one special day, on her birthday, Saiki asked to go to Tokyo to take a look at life in the big city. It was during this trip to Tokyo that Saiki was scouted by a talent agency named Rising Production.
Scouted?
But it was not just any talent agency. Rising Production also managed Namie Amuro. At first, Saiki worked as a model.
I wonder how that happened. Did somebody go to them and say, "Hey, you should see this person"? I mean, how was she recognized as a potential for them? Somebody had to know somebody type of thing. And I'm curious on how they came upon her as a talent that they wanted to work with.
You can see pictures from a photo shoot she did with Jimmy Ming Shum in November 2012.
Very
then,
pretty.
She was asked about what she would like to do.
Nice
of
photos.
Course, Saiki brought up singing. So she took singing lessons. The agency also asked her about acting lessons. And even though she wasn't really interested in acting, she agreed in order to have more opportunity in the future.
Smart.
When she was in high school, Saiki traveled between Yamanashi and Tokyo on the weekend for her singing lessons. She was on the right path to become a professional singer and dancer.
A left turn. That drive got me a little anxious.
Through those singing lessons, Saiki learned a lot about how to sing properly, louder, and also how to move while singing. When you sing, it's important to express yourself with gestures, but Saiki was still very shy. She used to sing while standing still. But the years of dancing lessons did give Saiki a good sense of rhythm. And those singing lessons helped her to overcome her shyness. Saiki started to show signs of the strong, confident, and mesmerizing singer that we know of today. A lot
pace. I love
in
that.
Saiki's life since her trip to Tokyo. After joining Rising Production, Saiki was scouted by Platinum Passport during one of her singing lessons. This is when she decided to move to Tokyo to focus on her career.
Is it me, or was that just happening at lightning speed? She goes there, and all of a sudden somebody's looking at her as a talent acquisition, and then and she's moving there. She's like, this is going at, and maybe it's just the way the documentary goes, but it seems like it's going very, very quickly for her.
SAIKI appeared briefly in a commercial for Taisho Pharmaceutical. You can also see her dancing in a music video for the singer May
I like
J.
the short hair.
SAIKI was an actress in the B team of Go Jet Go Go Zero, a musical comedy where she played the role of Meg, the sister of the lead character. She was in the cast between June 26th and July 3rd, 2013. That's not all. Between August 13th and 19th, SAIKI performed in a play called Night of the Blue Moon, where she had the role of a nurse. SAIKI has always been a fan of trains, which is pretty common in Japan. She likes to take photos and visit museums like the Kyoto Railway Museum, where she went in 2016.
That's an interesting tidbit. I didn't know
considers herself amongst the photographers when it comes to talk about train enthusiasts. There is also something else that's very present in SAIKI's daily life, and it's the only other topic you can see on her X account: the Japanese baseball team, Hanshin Tigers. SAIKI is a huge fan of this team, and she's supported them for a long time. She reposts every victory, and sometimes she just posts about them. She even talked about the Hanshin Tigers on the radio with a show she hosted with Miku in 2021.
2025年にですね、阪神タイガースの2軍の本拠地が現在の鳴尾浜球場から小田南公園へと移転されます。知ってました？
知らなかったです。
メイン球場は3階建てで、すごい。客席は約3600席。内野は黒土、外野は天然芝です。
The pose, just oh my god! Why do I get a kick out of that? I think everyone, does get a kick out of it who's a Band-Maid fan. Just the fact that she chucks in those exclamation points, and Po is an exclamation point. Po, it's precious. It's very cool.
3階建てで、すごい。客席は約3600席。内野は黒土、外野は天然芝です。頑張れ阪神タイガースという私の気持ちです。
なるほど、お気持ちありがとうございます、ポン。
If you really follow SAIKI on Instagram, you know that she loves taking photos, where she poses with various types of clothes, along with photos of her shoes and
she
nails.
Does rock a lot of photos.
Talking about shoes, you can find videos of SAIKI showing a room full of sneakers in a series called Maid's Room, available for Omesu-sama members. SAIKI is also one of the main models when it comes to feature Band-Maid clothes for the official website.
Very cool.
On July 24th, 2013, a rock band called Band-Maid performed for the first time at Otsuka Deepa in Tokyo. This band consisted of 4 members: Konami on guitar, Akane on drums, Misa on bass, and Kabato Miku, the founder of the band, on vocals. Band-Maid performed 2 more times at Shibuya Milky Way on August 13th and at the Vuenos in August 16th, before realizing that Miku's voice alone wouldn't be enough for her band. The management started to look for a lead vocalist within the agency. The profile of a young new talent who'd moved from Yamanashi came up. She had taken dancing lessons for a few years along with singing lessons from her previous and current agency. She'd also done some acting here and there, but she always wanted to become a professional singer. Her name was SAIKI. SAIKI was first contacted because her profile fit what the band was looking for. She was asked to come sing and listen to the songs planned for the band without being informed that she would have to perform in a special outfit. On SAIKI's first audition, none of the members were there, only the agency president.
So she gets an opportunity to go sing an audition for this band. Not much insight as to who the band is, it seems like. An opportunity nonetheless. So the people that represent send her over. That's a blind audition for sure. And you don't know. I think you would want to know something, but go do you and just go in and see what you can accomplish. This is awesome.
Being informed that she would have to perform in a special outfit. On SAIKI's first audition, none of the members were there, only the agency president, songwriters, and manager. They explained the project in detail, but SAIKI was really skeptical about the maid outfit.
What's this?
She listened to the music written for the band, and even though she really liked it, SAIKI was not really sure if she could sing these kinds of songs. But the management team told SAIKI her voice was great and was a perfect fit in the band. As she wanted to sing more and was ready to participate in any audition that could offer her a job in this area.
Someone will have to let me know. I'll just a quick break on this one. These kind of songs, is it because of the style of music or was it the lyrics? I don't know if he's going to clarify, but if he doesn't, somebody let me know.
SAIKI accepted the offer and officially joined Band-Maid.
Bass. Kick drum. Man, that's nasty. Oh. It's too good.
SAIKI still had to meet the other 4 members, but she didn't meet them all at once.
4人同時じゃなくて徐々に会っていく感じだったんですけど、最初は茜だったかな。彼女についてはとにかく明るい人という印象で、すごく明るくて素敵と思いましたね。なんで最初に茜と会ったかというと、私の最初の衣装を作ることになった時、当時はみんなと似たようなメイド服の衣装だったんですけど、彼女の衣装を元に作るのがバランス的にいいだろうということになったみたいで、お互い身長も一緒だし、体重も近かったので、一回これを着てみてみたいな感じで、まず茜の衣装を着てみたんです。それで、ここをちょっと直せばいけるねみたいな感じになってすぐにできたんですよ。ただ、私その時点ではまだそれがメイド服だって分かってなかったんです。というかエプロンとか小物がないとただの黒いワンピースに見えるわけですよ。しかも袖がない。いわゆる可愛い感じの衣装じゃなかったんですね。ただなんかフレアの幅が広いよなぐらいには思ってましたけどそして後日衣装ができたら付属品みたいなのがいろいろついてきて、それをつけてみたら、メイド服やんと気づいて、そこで改めて小鳩とか金見の衣装を見て、バンドメイドのメイドってそれなのねってようやく理解したんですそれはどうあれ、とにかく茜の第一印象はいろいろ親切にしてくれる明るいお姉さんでした。次に会ったのがミサで、彼女とはなんとなく
I was going to say, that's a good first meet. Really comfortable. Somebody's easygoing. I don't know if they planned it that way, but was able to kind of like gently bring her in and show her what it's all about and kind of, deliver that part of it. The Band-Maid outfit and stuff. She's been a model, so she's going to have some specific things that she wants to change or make it her own, I can imagine.
いろいろ親切にしてくれる明るいお姉さんでした。次に会ったのがミサで、彼女とはなんとなく気が合うんだろうなみたいな感じがして、好きそうなものが似てそうだよなと思いました。初めて会ったのは5人での初お給仕の前日、スタジオでのリハーサルの時でした。そこでみんなとはじめましてよろしくお願いしますみたいな。その時の休憩時間にミサと話したのかな。彼女は人見知りなんだろうなってすぐ分かりました。自分と似た匂いを感じたからなんですけどだからなかなか会話が始まらないんです。茜の場合はすごく気を使ってくれるというか、人見知りを察知するのが早いんです。 だからすぐに話を振ってくれるんですよ。放っておくと私は喋らないから、最近はどう思うみたいに、本当に優しい人だなと思いましたね。そしてミサに対しては、この人もめちゃくちゃ人見知りだ。気持ちはわかるぞーと。初対面の時はちょっとした挨拶程度だったんですよ。お疲れ様ですみたいな。話をしたのはレコーディングの時だったんですけど、私にとってはスタジオ見学のようなものだったので、ああ、レコーディングってそうやるんですねとか話していた気がします。第一印象としては目の大きな人だなって。しばらくするととても真面目できちんとした人なんだなと気づかされました。何かの時にさようでございますかって言葉が聞こえてきて、そんな言葉遣いする人これまで私の周りにはいなかったぞと、めちゃくちゃ丁寧な感じで働き慣れてる人みたいなイメージがありました。社会人っぽいというか、真面目な学校に通ってたのかしらという印象でしたね。初めて会ったの。
These are some interesting takes on first impressions, and it clearly she feels like she's the more business-like one, but also at the same time, I think has a certain like a way about her that is not forceful, but like let's get to it, you know, kind of like take charge, I guess is what I'm looking for. But interesting first impression takes. Whoops. There we go.
社会人っぽいというか、真面目な学校に通ってたのかしらという印象でしたね。初めて会ったのはそのリハーサルスタジオの時なんですよね、きっと。私が正確に覚えてないだけかもしれないけど実際本当に私が覚えてないだけみたいで、去年本人からその前にSAIKIを見てるよって言われて怖っと思って知らないうちに影からオーディションされてたんだって。マネージャーと一緒にちらっと見に行ったことはあったんだよと。
Sneaky.
そりゃそうですよね。身なりぐらいは見ておかないと。私的にはお給仕前日のスタジオで会った時が初遭遇だったんですけど、その時はなんかちっちゃい子が来たなと思って、これまた私の学校にはいなかったタイプだなとその時点で思いましたもん。何この5人ってなんでここにこの5人が集まってるのって最初から疑問でした。今も疑問。
Meant to be.
最初小鳩に対してはキャラ強って思いましたね。濃ゆいなこの人。独自のキャラがもうすでにあるって。他の3人についても癖強めというか濃いめだとは思っていて、でも同時に私自身はもっとそう見られているんだろうなと思っていたので、最近になってそのことを言いました。絶対そう思ってたでしょってみんな素直に認めてましたマジで無理って思ったとか言ってましたね、小鳩は。マジでどうしようって悩んだよって
These 5 members
Interesting,
are really unique and really.
I wonder why she felt that way. I wonder if it's just the process of getting to know somebody. It's more like, I don't know if I would like you because I don't know you type of thing. So maybe there was caution as to, you know, how that relationship would develop or work out, or, you know, or just maybe it doesn't work at all. So who knows? But interesting, like I said, first impressions and that whole development of her meeting everyone.
Different, but they all became very close friends over the years. Although, it was not that easy for SAIKI. SAIKI has a very shy personality, so it was hard for her to open up and talk to her new bandmates. From the beginning, Akane already knew Konami and Misa, so there was a connection between those three. Miku, being very friendly and sociable, had no trouble fitting in with the new trio. But when SAIKI joined Band-Maid, the other 4 had already performed live and spent time together. So for someone as timid as Saiki, it took a while to fit in.
Yeah,
she gave her opinion when asked, but the communication was very limited during the first months. Saiki also had a lot to learn as a lead singer, as she had no experience when it came to concert setup or even singing on stage with a band. She didn't know how to wrap her mic cable or do a mic check, and even what a joint concert was. Of course, she went to a lot of concerts, but only for that one band she wanted to see before leaving the venue. Saiki also struggled to sing with all the noise of her bandmates' instruments on stage, as she didn't wear in-ear monitors when she started to sing with Band-Maid. Saiki performed her first concert with Band-Maid on August 22nd at Shibuya AX in Tokyo.
Such the cheerleader.
Right after this concert, Saiki got rid of the apron that was attached to her outfit. It took about 6 months for Saiki to get used to being in a band and learn how to manage her setup for the concerts. This timing was perfect because on February 8th, 2014, on Saiki's birthday, Band-Maid performed their first one-man concert.
I'm sorry, guys. That was going to be a cool guitar riff going into that. I was going to say I've never seen kind of the old outfits like that, where they're all short skirts, mainly to like an actual maid's outfit, which they have versions of it now. I do like how they've kind of morphed or changed into what they wear now, because they're much more individualized, but still keep a common theme, which I thoroughly enjoy.
After the success of Thrill, Band-Maid played more concerts, and Saiki found herself singing more than she was prepared for. Even though she took singing lessons for a few years, Saiki's vocal technique was still very limited, and during her debut, she wasn't as cautious about how she sang. Around the time Band-Maid recorded Alone, Saiki was being helped by a vocal coach to improve her singing skills, but it was already too late. Between 2015 and 2017, her throat suffered to the point where her voice became half as powerful as it was when she joined Band-Maid.
I did not know that.
At one point,
you guys might have mentioned it to me, but I don't
even
recall.
Record an entire song the same day. She had to rest a few days between takes to ensure that she didn't lose her voice for good. Even forced to speak in whispers for a while and use her voice only for singing. Terrified by the idea of having to rely on surgery, she tried everything to avoid it, but finally realized that she would not be able to sing anymore if she waited any longer. In the summer of 2017, she finally gathered her courage and went through with vocal cord polyp surgery. Saiki was completely without a voice for a week, and then she wasn't allowed to sing for a month right after the surgery. She wrote a tweet to reassure everyone who'd been following her. With the help of her vocal coach, who had experience with this kind of surgery.
Let me read that, folks. They had that up really quick, so let me find it real quick. Sorry about that.
For a month right after the surgery. She wrote a tweet to reassure.
Let's see. Period of silence over my time. That's very cool. Sorry about that. I just wanted to see. Let me go back there. I just wanted to see.
In the summer of 2017, she finally gathered her courage and went through with vocal cord polyp surgery. Saiki was completely without a voice for a week, And
not a
then
good
she
technician
wasn't
guy.
allowed to sing for a month right after the surgery. She wrote a tweet to reassure everyone who'd been following her. With the help of her vocal coach, who had experience with this kind of surgery and a lot of training, SAIKI is now able to sing even better than before and has improved her technique while learning how to properly care for her voice.
Technique is
You
everything.
can see SAIKI taking care of her throat during MCs when she's drinking loquat syrup, or even after the show, where she's using a stainless steel ice bottle to keep her throat cool. SAIKI's voice changed a lot over the years, always improving, becoming more powerful with a wider range.
This is her very consistent in her voice. It looks like we're going to go through and hear how it changes or stays healthy. She's doing all the right things. You can tell her technique's a little bit better. And when you do have a good technique, you don't have to be as forceful to get the sounds you want once you learn how to use everything. At least that's what I've been told. My nephew had gone through vocal things, so he kind of shared some stuff with me. But I'm glad that all went well. Helps when the crowd's singing, huh? You can let it go for that. Everybody. You can hear some of the clarity and sharpness too of her technique, how it's gotten better.
There are always more to do in a band than just play your instrument. There's writing songs, lyrics, and being involved in the whole process.
This is what got me onto these. You guys got me here because of like, how do they write their songs? I think I mentioned something like, how do they come together and get everything done? You guys, if you're curious about that, watch these. So here we go.
SAIKI wrote lyrics here and there along with Miku since the release of Band-Maid in 2016. But she's started to write more by herself, as she's the one who's credited for lyrics on Corellium.
Gotta see if I did that one.
Hate.
For sure.
And Maji.
Bass and drums
SAIKI
on that.
actively participates in other activities around Band-Maid, like helping design clothes and giving ideas for the covers of Band-Maid CDs.
It's a cool one. I like that.
At first, Miku was the spokesperson of the band. Well, SAIKI used to stay in the background. Miku was the one who talked the most during media appearances and put on a show during MCs. But since the pandemic, SAIKI took a step forward and became, with Miku, part of the front image of Band-Maid. They talked together during the Band-Maid Nippon radio show and all other radio appearances. SAIKI has also become more active during MCs and started to talk from her heart with the fans. After a time, SAIKI came to realize that of all the maids, she had the best view of the stage, as she was free to roam as she focused on her singing. SAIKI was the one who started to talk to the other members about moving around the stage, interacting more with the crowd, and making each concert even more special.
常に驚かせたいっていうのがありますね。ハッとさせられたり、ゾクッとさせられたりっていうのは本気の生理現象だと思うし、そういうのを伴った時の方が記憶に残るんじゃないかなと思っていて、だから結局自分たちのことが相手の記憶に残っていってほしいのかな。忘れないでほしいというか、一回見たらもう忘れられないねみたいな、そういうのを目指しているところがあるのは確かですね。
SAIKI changed a lot with Band-Maid, compared with the shy girl she was when she visited Tokyo for the first time. Scouted on that day by the same agency who managed her idol to become a model and being able to take singing lessons.
Crazy.
And then scouted a second time during those lessons by another agency to develop more talents. SAIKI performed in a few plays to end up joining an all-female rock band, playing songs far from her repertoire.
Amazing.
In an outfit that she never really liked. She had to learn everything
But
from
she looks
scratch
great
to
in
move
it.
towards her goal of becoming a professional musician.
They all do. They all look
This shy young
fantastic
girl,
on stage.
who never thought that she could sing and dance for a living, became a confident, talented lead singer with an insane stage presence. SAIKI changed so much that even those close to her, including herself, don't even recognize her when she's on stage. SAIKI seized an opportunity and took the best of it to evolve into a new version of herself. Surrounded by the best group of friends, she managed to rise to a point where she never thought she could reach. But this ascent is far from over. SAIKI and her bandmates have the energy to climb over any mountain in their way, no matter how high. In the end, and against all odds, SAIKI is the perfect fit for Band-Maid. The last piece of this miraculous puzzle whose voice resonates across the world.
私だけの願い崩れてくパズル満たせない記憶瞳閉じてまた君に落ちてく
So good. That half hour went by fast.
懐かしい気持ちに I'm so glad to see you again この時が
Casper Michaels.
続
That's got
く
a
よ
nice
う
voice.
に暗い日々さえ with you 無意味なものはないよ You shot me down last night I feel like I live it with you love me 言葉にできない This time we don't
Okay, so I'm looking at the order. I gotta do these now. So 2 more seconds. I was gonna ask that too, if that was her voice. I didn't. When I heard the voice in my mind, I didn't picture that as being her voice. I was trying to like, is that really her voice? Because it doesn't sound like that's how she would sound, or look like how she would sound, I should say. And that just answered my question because somebody did that for her on this video. It looks like was her voice. So the way I did it is SKAM. Scam. It was the order you guys gave me. So Konami was the next one, and then Akane, and then Misa, and then Miku. If I have that right, I think I do. I was pretty diligent about looking at all the comments, and there was a few of you that had it in an order, and it must be done in order. And I'm okay following structure and the advice that you give me. It makes it easier for me, so I don't have to guess. I can kind of put it in a way that is acceptable to those of you that want to watch these with me and share it. I certainly enjoy sharing it with you, so I want to do it in the proper way. I hope you enjoyed it. This is very educational for me. Learning a band's history and how they came together is a neat way to kind of enjoy their music more if you do enjoy them, right? So what I mean by that is if you know deeper about who they are, how they came together, possibly struggles. In this case, she had a vocal thing, and you don't learn that stuff. So what you end up with when you find that stuff out and you dig in, you start to feel like you know them more than as a musician, but maybe not to make it sound like too much, but you almost like you have a personal aspect. There's a personal interest in them. And that solidifies the relationship of them being a musician and providing an art to you that you enjoy, with enjoying it like more because you feel like you know them a little bit because you have some history on them. Hope I said that right. In my mind, it sounded great. But I think you know where I'm going with that. And bands that I truly like, I will take the time to try to find out more about them. And just because I want to know, where did this band come from? How did they, what was their progression? Were they always the same group members? Were they different group members then than now? Is what I mean. Like, did they always have the same people? Did they always have the same music? Sometimes their music changes over time. What you're listening to now was quite different than what they started out with. And they become artistically a version of themselves as they grow, but not necessarily the same style as when they first started out. There's a few bands I followed that their early stuff was may have been quite different than what they produced later on. So fun stuff to do. Konami's next. Can't wait. Probably be trying to do these within the next 5 days. There's 4 of them. 5's pretty aggressive. Maybe within a week's time to get them all up. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, please like and subscribe if you did, or feel free to like and subscribe. I don't require, of course. Nobody can, but it would be nice. It helps me try to reach more people and just enjoy this kind of stuff with others. So anyways, peace to everybody. Please be happy, healthy, and safe in all that you do. I really do appreciate you guys take time to watch this. So just want to let you guys know that. Everybody take care. We'll see you on the next one.